we Nigerians are sorry for beating you at the Unity Cup. You were really hoping to get a victory over Nigeria, but it didn't happen for Ghana. Yet again, we keep winning the jollof rice battle. But let's talk about the Ghana Premier League. Now, Nations Football Club, we hear that they've officially explained the decision to walk off the pitch and abandon their penultimate Ghana Premier League fixture against Basake Holy Stars, citing a series of alarming incidents that they say compromise the integrity of the match and, of course, endanger the safety of the personnel. Now, the incidents that they listed are poor officiating, security concerns, and physical assaults. There's also disrespect to traveling fans, media obstruction. Now, Nations FC strongly condemned the incidents and called on the Ghana Football Association and all relevant stakeholders to launch a full investigation. They also urged the GFA to implement disciplinary and regulatory measures to uphold fairness, safety, and dignity across the league. Now, the league's governing body, we hear that they've not said anything. They're expected to meet in the coming days to assess the situation, and the outcome could have major ramifications for the title race, as well as the broader credibility of the competition. I also hear that the owner and bankroller of the Ghana Premier League club, Dr. Kwame Che, has disclosed that he harbors regrets of investing in the Ghana football following a dramatic walk-off for his side against Basake Holy Stars. Muftau, what exactly went wrong in that game? And what type of punishment should be meted out on the offenders? Network glitch right there from Muftau. We hope that the network will be better for us to hear from you, because it is a dicey situation over there in the Ghana Premier League, and it is not something that should be seen in our football right here in Africa, because we keep talking about violence, talking about football, which is supposed to be a means of unity and peace, express the spirit of sportsmanship. And when we see situations like this, it doesn't speak well of our sports. Now, the owner of the club, Dr. Kwame, now says that he regrets investing in Ghana football. And of course, we don't know what his next move will be. But for his team, Nations FC, they did walk off that pitch. And it was not a good sight. You can see the scenes right there on your screen, which is not a good way to sell sports right here, football in Africa. Muftau, are you back with us?
So I was saying that the regulations governing football in Ghana, a club that walks away from the pitch during a game is believed to have forfeited the match. So in this instance, Nations FC, the club that decided to walk away from the pitch during this game, have forfeited the match. However, as we speak, the Ghana Football Association is yet to comment on it. We are all aware that the entire secretariat, apart from the vice president of the Ghana Football Association, were all in the UK for the Unity Cup matches. Hence, I don't want to believe that if the general secretary is away, if the president is away, the secretariat is not functioning, because this is quite an GFA, because over the years, when incidents like this come up, the football governing body is always quick to issue statements sanctioning clubs for their roles, or even charging clubs for their roles in violence. But in this instance, it's been, over 13, 14 hours, and we are yet to hear anything from the Ghana Football Association. One of the interesting aspects for the regulation of the Ghana Football Association, especially Article 33A, it states that if the club that walks away from the pitch is leading by more than 4 goals, then that club would have its result recognized. But in this instance, the club that walked away from the pitch, what it means is that they are going to lose the game by 3-0. They are also going to be fined not less than 5,000 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to like $300, $400. And the club would also be deducted additional points. So in this instance, they're going to lose as many as 6 points for walking away during this Ghana Premier League game. It is important, let's put this in context. Nations FC, prior to this weekend Ghana Premier League matches, were seated at the top of the Premier League with 60 points. The other club that was second place, Bibiani Gold Stars, had 57 points. So if Bibiani Gold Stars that were able to secure a win against Bekum Charlton, they also have 60 points currently, I will speak. But the thing is that the Ghana Premier League uses the head-to-head rule. And Bibiani Gold Stars have got a better head-to-head rule over Nations FC. So currently, as we speak, Nations FC would have to drop to second place with 60 points, and Bibiani Gold Stars with also 60 points, but they will sit at the top of the Premier League table. When it comes to some of these issues where there are always allegations of people trying to use the powers that be to influence who wins the Ghana Premier League or any other competition under the umbrella of the Ghana Football Association, one of the things we often hear is alleged match fixing. Was this a game that was fixed? No one can tell. Was this a game where people tried to get an undue advantage by manipulating the outcome of the game? That is also something we cannot state categorically. But what we can state is the fact that Nations FC, if the Ghana Football Association is to issue sanctions, it means that Nations FC will forfeit that match they played against Basake Holy Stars. They are going to lose 3 additional points, and they're going to be fined 5,000 Ghana cedis for the incidents that unfolded during this match.
Right, and looking at the team that they played against, I mean, you talked about it not being, we're not even sure if it's a case of match fixing. Looking at the Ghana Premier League table now, Basake Holy Stars are 14th on the table. If they had played that game, finished that game, if they had won, they would have gone 33 points. Yes, they would have gone to 33 points. Rather, they would have actually gone to 41 points, which would have taken them to 12th on the table. But of course, for Nations FC, they are meddling with the top 2 in the Ghana Premier League, and likely if they had won that game, they would have retained their top position in the GPL. But of course, is the owner, Dr. Kwame, is it right for him to come out that he regrets investing in Ghana football? Don't you think that statement can also warrant a bit of punishment?
No, I do not think so. I do not think so. This is a man who has invested. Even before setting up Nations FC, he was the chief executive officer of Kumasi Asante Kotoko when he was appointed by Otumfuo Osei-Tutu in 2016. If my memory serves me, this was somewhere in November 2016. He won the FA Cup with Kumasi Asante Kotoko in October 2017 as the chief executive officer. So over the years, this is a man who has invested in Ghana football for the last 9 years. So he's speaking out of experience. In fact, he's gone as far as building a stadium in Abrankese, which is a suburb within the Ashanti region, closer to Kumasi, just for his club. And I can tell you categorically that apart from Nations FC, apart from Elmina Sharks, many other clubs in this country are using state-owned facilities. So this man has invested so much of his resources into football, and when it was close for him to at least lay his hand on the coveted trophy, which is the Ghana Premier League title, there is the allegation of machinations behind the scenes for him to not to win the Ghana Premier League. So he has got every single right to express his reservations about what happened. He's got every single right to say that he regrets pumping his money into the game of football. He's got every single right to actually walk away from the competition if he decides to, or investing in Ghana football if he decides to, because this is his investment. And anyone can decide to pull the plug at any time and say that I don't want this business to continue to run again because I'm running at losses. So I do not think that the Ghana Football Association would see this comment as one that will bring the image of the game into disrepute, because this is a man who is speaking out of frustration. This is a man who is speaking out of anger. This is a man who has not said anything that contravenes or violates the regulations governing football in this country. So Dr. Kwame Che, the comments he made on my sister station this morning, clearly, I do not see how the Ghana Football Association will be sanctioning him for that.
Right, and for the Nations FC, I don't think pulling out at this time would be the wisest decision, because there's still a chance. I had about 38 match days in the Ghana Premier League. We have about 5 games to go. So there's still a chance for Nations FC to win the title. If they keep their heads low and play good football, they just might emerge champions. I know it is quite tough. Still looking at the table, of course, the Bibiani Gold Stars are top at the moment. Nations FC are second. Ashanti Kotoko comes third with 58 points, 2 points behind both first and second place teams. There's also Lions with 57 points on fourth position, and then Hearts of Oak with 55 points on fifth position. It is quite dicey, but for Nations FC, I'll just say they should just keep their heads low and play good football. They just might emerge champions.
Take clarity of something, right? The Ghana Premier League is 34 match days, not 38. So the matches that were played over the weekend was match day 33. So you left with one match to decide the team that wins the Ghana Premier League. So Nations FC, if they forfeit this match, and the Ghana Football Association decides to sanction them by deducting additional 3 points, they are completely out of the race. Also, should it happen that on the final day of the Ghana Premier League, which is next weekend, Nations FC even wins their game, and Bibiani Goals as that country sits at the top of the Premier League table, also wins their game, they will be Ghana Premier League champions because, as I mentioned earlier, they've got the head-to-head advantage over Nations FC. So at this point, they do not have their destiny in their own hands.
That's a tough one, and well, let's see what the Ghana Premier League Association will get to say concerning this one. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'll keep tabs on this one. I keep following up with the story. I just hope that 3 points will not be deducted from Nations FC. But of course, the rule is the rule. If it happens that way, it happens.
The rule is the rule. If they don't deduct it, we'll refer them to their own regulation that says that for forfeiting the match, they must be deducted 3 points. So they cannot say that they will not deduct this point. But the rule is the rule.
The rule is indeed the rule. Thank you very much, Muftau, for joining us. We'll keep tabs on the story and looking forward to what the GPL will say, talking about a verdict on Nations FC and Basake Holy Stars. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.